92, left fielder, number 33, Logan Labrie, batting number 2. In center field, Noah Johnson, batting number 3. At shortstop, Jet Kleinsasser, batting cleanup at first base, Micah Zastro, batting number 5. At third base, Aiden Frankenstein, batting number 4. And pitching, Chase Odlin, batting number 7. At second base, Jackson Rude, batting number 8. In right field, Tate Bray, and batting number 9. And catching, Tate Newharth. Redfield Post 92 is coached by Tommy Gregg and Wally Backman. Now for Milbank Post 9, they will lead off. Center fielder Jackson Weesey, batting number 2. At second base, Mason Allen, batting number 3. At third base, Aiden Kelly, batting number 4. The cleanup hitter, the right fielder Matt Copeland, batting number 5. And catching, Zach Cargus, batting number 6. At shortstop, Brady Allen, batting number 7. And pitching, Bennett Hunt, batting number 8. And at first base, Derek Karst, batting number 9. In left field, Caleb Lindstrom. Milbank's reserve is Keaton Johnson. Redfield, Clay Kaiser, Post 92's reserves, Hunter Binger, Dawson Marlowe, Derek Bossert, Hudson Binger, and Grady Halsher. Again, welcome in. We've got 2 games after this one. This is the third place game today. Second place game, Sisseton against Groton. That'll be on our sister station, B103, and the YouTube page up at B103 as well. And the first place game of the championship, Parkston goes against Volga. Again, your game time temperature 65 degrees, cloudy skies here in Milbank, and welcome in to baseball here. We are going to have the Legion Creed, and then we're going to have the national anthem, so we're just going to keep it right here for all of that. And again, glad to have everybody along here on your Sunday morning. And happy Father's Day, too, by the way, to all the fathers out there.
I will keep the rules. Keep faith with my teammates. Keep my temper. Keep myself fit. Keep a sound heart to defeat. Keep my pride under in victory. Keep a sound soul, a clean mind, and a healthy body. As we honor America in her 250th year, we celebrate the values that unite us: service, community, and opportunity, and the traditions that bring us together on fields like this one across our nation. Please rise, remove your hats for the singing of our national anthem. Today's national anthem is sung by Keaton Johnson and his mother, Sarah.
National anthem, sung today by Keaton Johnson and his mother, Sarah. All right, Milbank Post number 9 is going to take the field here shortly. And again, we'll take this time to thank our sponsors, the Millstone Family Restaurant, Avera Milbank Medical Center, Milbank Area Hospital, Avera, Milbank Tobacco Coalition, 203 Realty, Bean Pharmacy, Haslam Construction, Milbank Ford, Border Lake Insurance, Ortonville Area Health Services, Dakota Country Ag Service, Chiropractic in Motion, Lewis Family Drug, Pro Image Partners, ITC, and Schmidt's Landing. And I'll run our video stream sponsors as well throughout the broadcast here this afternoon, this morning, I guess technically. Milbank Post 9, they lost last night to Volga 8-5. So this third place game here is Milbank and Redfield. Clay Kaiser, Post 92. Let's set Milbank Post 9 defensively for you here. In left field, Caleb Lindstrom. In center field is Jackson Weesey, and over in right is Matt Copeland. Around the infield for Milbank at third is Aiden Kelly. Shortstop is Brady Allen. Second base is Mason Allen. First base is Derek Karst. Behind the dish is Zach Kargas. And on the bump is right-handed pitcher number 15, Bennett Hunt. So there you have Milbank's starting defense. And again, Redfield's lineup, in case you missed it, Logan Labrie is going to lead off, followed by Noah Johnson, and then Jet Kleinsasser, Micah Zastro bats cleanup. Aiden Frankenstein bats fifth. Chase Odland bats number 6. Jackson Rude bats number 7. Tate Bray is in the number 8 slot today, and batting number 9 is Tate Newharth. Again, Redfield Clay Kaiser, Post 92, coached by Tommy Gregg, and he's assisted by Wally Backman. Milbank is coached by Ron Kraus. He's assisted by Caden Kraus and Brady Femling. Redfield yesterday, they lost to Sisseton 10-5. Of course, a game you heard on our sister station, B103 yesterday. So Redfield is getting ready to take the swings at the plate here in the top of the first inning. Again, cloudy, and your game time temperature 65 here in the city of Milbank on a Sunday. Again, Father's Day. So, in the batter's box, Logan Labrie for Redfield, Clay Kaiser, post number 92. Bennett Hunt's first pitch of the game. Here it is. That is a strike at the knees. Labrie in the game yesterday had a couple of singles and an RBI for post 92. And here is the Bennett Hunt pitch. That's high and outside on the fastball. Again, glad to have everybody along here. Again, we're live stream only, not on KMSD AM or FM today. We're on at KMSD Radio, our YouTube page. The 1-1 pitch. Here it is. That is low and inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, Sisseton and Groton will follow this game. About 15-20 minutes after, that'll be on our sister station, B103. Here's the Hunt pitch. That's high. So 3 balls and 1 strike now to the leadoff batter for Redfield Clay Kaiser, Logan Labrie. And the Bennett Hunt pitch. Here's the 3-1. That's going to be high. So Logan Labrie leads off this game with a walk. That'll bring up Noah Johnson, center fielder. Where's number 5? Noah Johnson. Yesterday, Noah had a single and an RBI for his offensive efforts yesterday in the loss to Sisseton. So Hunt checks the runner over at first. Pitch homeward, and that's right down the center of the plate. Noah Johnson takes it. No balls and 1 strike to number 5. Again, the center fielder here today for Redfield. And the 0-1 pitch now upcoming. Here it is. There goes the runner. Got a good jump, and Kargas couldn't hold on to it behind the plate. So Logan Labrie steals second base. Labrie got a pretty good jump, so he might have stolen that one anyway, but like we said, Zach Kargas dropped the ball, so Labrie certainly into second. Here's the 0-2 now. That's a strike. Strike 3 called. Noah Johnson rung up on strikes by home plate umpire Travis Lester, base umpire today, Ronnie Kraus Jr. And that now will bring up the shortstop, Jet Kleinsasser. In yesterday's game, Kleinsasser had a single and 4 trips to the plate. Bennett Hunt checks the runner, Labrie out at second. Here's the pitch. That's squibbed down the first baseline, foul. So a no ball, 1 strike count now to Jet Kleinsasser. Redfield in their white uni tops, yellow baseball pants today, yellow lettering and black outline on their lettering on their jerseys. Here's the pitch. That's a curveball. That's a beauty. No balls and 2 strikes. Bennett Hunt took a lot of steam off of that one and floated it over the plate that time. So he's ahead here. No balls and 2 strikes to Kleinsasser. And the Bennett Hunt pitch, here it is, and that's going to be a pop-up on the infield. Goes into short center field. Mason Allen is under it, and Mason makes the catch. So, flying out to second baseman, Mason Allen is Jet Kleinsasser. That'll bring up number 7, the first baseman, Micah Zastro. Yesterday against Sisseton, Micah had 1 single. He reached on a fielder's choice and scored a run. He had a couple of other at-bats as well for Redfield yesterday. There goes Labrie to third. He got a good jump, fire down to third, and that was there, but Labrie's speed allowed him to slide in safely. So Logan steals third base. That's where he is now with 1 out here. So less than 2 outs. Of course, the first run of the game is standing 90 feet away. Here's the 0-1 from Hunt. That stays inside. 1 ball and 1 strike now. Again, glad to have everybody along here on the video stream only today on your Sunday morning. And there's a ball, 2 balls and 1 strike, just about getting away from catcher Kargas, but a good job behind the dish that time by Zach to, for now, not allow the run to come in from third. The 2-1 count now to Zastro. And here it is. That's dribbled on the ground, foul down the third base line to even the count now to Micah Zastro. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kind of a fall-like feeling day out here on your Father's Day. Again, happy Father's Day to all the fathers and or father figures out there today. Here's the 2-2. That's a pitch that sails outside to fill up the count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Labrie is at third. Zastro is in the batter's box with a full count right now. And the payoff pitch, here it is. That's low and outside. So second walk of the inning is given up by Bennett Hunt. And that puts Zastro at first base. Labrie, of course, stays at third. And that'll bring up now the third baseman, number 4. Aiden Frankenstein. Yesterday, Aiden had a triple. He had a single, an RBI, and a run scored, and he reached on an error. No, he was hit by a pitch. And the Bennett Hunt pitch, that's over the head of the batter that time. So Redfield threatening to score first here. They've got runners on second and third, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. That's high and inside. On that pitch previous to that last one, Zastro went into second base. So Zastro is at second now. Labrie is at third. And a 2-0 count to Frankenstein. Here it is. There's a mile-high pop-up on the infield. First baseman Derek Karst says he has it, and he drifts into foul territory. Derek makes the catch. So half an inning complete. Frankenstein pops out to the first baseman. We will be back with more, but we're going to take a break for one of our video stream, some of our video stream sponsors here. We'll be back right after this.
What's the difference fiber-fast internet can make in your home or business? ITC pairs unbeatable speed with local support to provide an exceptional customer experience. Get started today with ITC, your community-connected cooperative.
Smoke breaks take time. Time away from defining moments in life. His moment of glory was your moment. Wasted. Fewer moments wasted. More good years.
Pro Image Partners. So many reasons why you can turn to us. We'll help you show your pride. ProImagePartners.com.
Ortonville Area Health Services. Our mission? At Ortonville Area Health Services, we provide personalized, high-quality, and compassionate care through caring professionals in a healing environment. Your healthcare home, Ortonville Area Health Services.
And let's set Redfield defensively here for you. In left field is Logan Labrie. In center field is Noah Johnson. Over in right is Tate Bray. Around the infield for Clay Kaiser, post 92, Aiden Frankenstein is at third. Jet Kleinsasser is at short. Jackson Rude is at second. Mike Zastro is at first. Behind the dish is Tate Newharth, and on the mound is Chase Odland, right-hand pitcher for Redfield. Clay Kaiser, post number 92. And again, Milbank will go this way. Jackson Weesey will lead off today. Mason Allen will bat number 2. Aiden Kelly, number 3. Matt Copeland in the cleanup position. Zach Cargus bats number 5. Brady Allen, number 6. Bennett Hunt bats number 7. Derek Kars bats number 8. And Caleb Lindstrom bats number 9 for Milbank, post number 9. That'll bring up Jackson Weesey now for Milbank. Jackson, in last night's loss, had a couple of walks. Again, Milbank lost last night to Volga 8-5. Jackson Weesey steps in the batter's box now for post 9. And the Chase Odland pitch. Here it is. Strike at the knees of number 12, Jackson Weesey. Again, bottom of the first inning, just underway. First game of 3 here today. Only 2, though, on the internet and/or radio. Our first 2 here today. And the 0-1 now from Odland. Here it is. There's a swing and a miss by Jackson Weesey. Kind of high heat that time on the inside corner from Odland. And Weesey took a mighty whack at it. So Jackson down now, no balls and 2 strikes. Chase Odland has his sign, the Redfield right-hander. Here comes the pitch. Jackson dribbles that one down the third baseline, foul. So count rides along now, no balls and 2 strikes to Milbank's leadoff hitter here this morning. Yes, we are technically still morning here on a Sunday, again Father's Day Sunday. And the 0-2 count now to Jackson Weesey. Here comes Odland's pitch. That's going to be a beautiful pitch. Kind of floated across the plate right toward the end, and that's a strikeout for Odland. So that's his first strikeout. Obviously, that was the leadoff batter. Mason Allen comes to the plate now. Mason in last night's game was on 3 times. He had a pair of singles, a double, a couple of RBIs. Good stat line last night for Mason Allen. Of course, he led off last night. He usually leads off, but Jackson Weesey's in the leadoff spot today. And here's the pitch now to Mason. He takes a strike at the knees. Mason was threatening to take a mighty swing at that one, but he kind of held back. And that is a strike. So no score here in the bottom of the first inning, just underway. And the 0-2 pitch, here it is. That's on the ground to short. Scooped up out there by Kleinsasser, but then it's going to hit his glove. So we're probably going to have to give an error to Kleinsasser that time, because by all rights, it looked like that was just kind of just a routine ground ball.
Third baseman Aiden Kelly.
And I think what happened was Kleinsasser just took his eye off of it, and so reaching on the error would be Mason Allen. That'll bring up Aiden Kelly now. Aiden is looking for his first, well, he walked last night. He did not have a hit last night. So here comes the pitch. Aiden squares to bunt. There goes Mason Allen to second. Mason slides in safely. So Mason Allen with the stolen base now for Milbank. And a no ball, 1 strike count to Aiden Kelly, who wears number 22 for Milbank. And Odland is taking his sign now. And the Redfield right-hander gets set to deal. Checking Allen at second. Here's the 0-1. Kind of reaching for that one and swinging and missing was Aiden Kelly. So Aiden now down, no balls and 2 strikes. Mason Allen on second, representing the game's potential first run. Redfield came up empty in the top of the first. And the 0-2 pitch, here it is. There's down low, and Kelly did not offer at it that time. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to number 22, Aiden Kelly. Again, the third baseman here today. Chase Odlands comes to the set. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be a called third strike. Aiden Kelly rung up on strikes. So Odland has 2 strikeouts. Sandwiched in between an error that allowed Mason Allen to reach, and that'll bring up number 11. Now the right fielder, Mac Copeland for Milbank. Mac in last night's game had a single, reached on an error, scored a run for Milbank. So the pitch now is taking a long time, is looking a long time, is Odland out at second base there to Mason Allen. Copeland takes time out, so now the 1-0 count to Mac. Here comes the pitch. That's a ball that stays outside, so Mac takes it. 2 balls and no strikes. Again, Mason Allen on second. No score. Milbank post 9. Redfield, Clay Kaiser post 92. American Legion Heritage Baseball Tournament. Third place game, and here's the pitch. That is low. So 3 balls and no strikes now. We'll see what kind of a pitch Mac gets here on 3-0. See if it's anything that, 2-0, I guess. I'm getting ahead of myself. Sorry about that. Well, let's see what this next pitch is. How about that? Here's the 2 ball and no strike pitch. Here it is. That is, okay. I knew it was going to be 3-0. See, I told you. There you go. Oh, I look smart so very few times, and I didn't that time either. 3 balls and no strikes to Mac Copeland. Here comes the pitch. That's a strike at the knees. Mac takes it. 3 balls and 1 strike now to the Milbank right fielder. Mason Allen at second. 2 outs, and the 3-1 pitch now upcoming. And here comes the pitch. Copeland flies that one out to left field in the foul territory, and it drifts foul. It's kind of a light breeze here today, kind of wafting through the press box here today. So full count now to Mac Copeland with Mason Allen on second. 2 outs, bottom of the first, no score. Redfield and Milbank. City of Milbank Heritage Legion Baseball Tournament. And the Odland pitch, here it is. Copeland fouls that one back, so we'll do it again. Still a full count now to Mac. And Odland getting set to deal the full count payoff pitch. And here it is. That's just a little bit high. Good eye by Mac that time to take that one. Mac gains first base on the walk, and that'll bring up Zach Cargus.
Representing catcher number 21, Zach Cargus.
Zach Cargus last night reached on an error. In 4 trips to the plate. So Cargus with an ideal opportunity here. Runners at first and second. There's 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Zach. That's a strike at the knees. Zach catching this morning, number 21. And the 0-1 pitch now upcoming from Odland. Takes a long look back at Mason Allen. Here's the pitch. That's on the ground to the right of the second baseman. He's up with it over to first. Jackson Rude picks up the ball, throws it over to first, and the out is recorded. Zach Cargus is out, so Milbank strands 2. They do not score. 1 complete. Heritage Baseball Classic here in Milbank. It's no score. Milbank and Redfield. We'll be back with more after another spot from our sponsors on the video side of things. We'll be back right after this.
Darren and his crew offer the best mechanic service, along with a full lineup of Ford vehicles. They pride themselves on the honest and friendly way of doing business. Check out milbankford.com to see what they have to offer, or stop by Milbank Ford, West Highway 12, Milbank.
Whimsy on Main makes it easy to find unique gifts for all occasions. Whimsy specializes in packages specific to your gift-giving needs. Shop in store for books, home toys, games, and more, Monday through Saturday, or online at whimsyonmain.com. Let Whimsy on Main be your one-stop gift shop on Main Street, Milbank.
This broadcast brought to you locally by Dennis Mears, financial advisor with Legacy Financial Partners, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC. Your future is counting on the right financial advice.
And welcome back here to Milbank on our YouTube live stream only here on your Father's Day, Sunday morning. We're entering the top of the second inning. It's Redfield and Milbank here in the third place game of the Heritage Tournament. No score. We're entering the top of the second inning. And Redfield, post number 92, will send up batters number 6, 7, and 8 against Milbank right-hander Bennett Hunt. And that'll bring up now the pitcher, Chase Odland. And let's see how Chase did in yesterday's game. Chase Odland had a single and a run scored in 4 trips to the plate yesterday for Redfield. Clay Kaiser, post 92. And the Hunt pitch, now there it is. That's a little bit low across the plate. 1 ball and no strikes now to Chase Odland. Here's the Hunt fastball. That sails outside, so 2 balls and no strikes. Jackson Rude waits on deck here for post 92. And the Hunt pitch, here it is. That's a strike at the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike now to number 2. Again, the pitcher this morning here for Redfield, Chase Odland. Bennett Hunt comes to the set now, the 2-1 pitch. Here it is. There's a shot down the third base line, but foul. Odland got around just a little bit too early on that one that time and hit it hard down the left field line, but foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Odland. Bennett Hunt's pitch. That's a called third strike, a beauty that time, floated in there by Bennett Hunt. Strikeout number 2 this morning for Bennett.
Second baseman number 9, Jackson Rude.
And we should remind you, you're listening to Classic Hits 95.1, you're not listening to that today. If you're listening to that, you're listening to a church service. I beg your pardon. You're watching our live stream here on YouTube. And here's the 2-0 now. That's low and outside to Jackson Rude. Actually, that's the first pitch of the at-bat. 1 ball and no strikes. And here comes the Hunt pitch. That stays high on the fastball. 2 balls and no strikes. 1 man out here in the top of the second inning. And it's 2-0 now. The count to Jackson Rude. And here comes the pitch. That is on the inside, but too far inside. So Bennett Hunt now behind. 3 balls and no strikes. Tate Bray waits on deck here for post number 92. And the Bennett Hunt 3-0. Here it is. That's high, a 4-pitch walk. So Rude gains first base now with 1 out in the half inning.
Number 23, Tate Bray.
And that'll bring up now the right fielder. Number 23, left-handed batter, Tate Bray for Redfield. And the Hunt pitch, here it is. That's a strike on the inside corner. Nice pitch by Bennett that time. No balls and 1 strike. 1 out here in the top of the second inning for Redfield. As Hunt comes to the set, snap throw over to first. That's kind of just thinking about your throw over there, as Rude was not too far off the base. As Rude gets a little bit of a lead now. Pitch to Bray, that's low and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. And Hunt comes to the set now, the 1-1. Here it is. That's hit down the first base line, foul. So Bennett Hunt now ahead, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tate Bray with a 1-2 count now. Here's the Bennett Hunt pitch. There's a mile-high pop-up into left field. And going down the third base line and not quite being able to catch it out there is Aiden Kelly. It was a nice effort that time by Aiden, but just off the end of his glove. And so new life for the moment belongs to Tate Bray. He's a 1-2 count now, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jackson Rude on first with 1 out. And the 1-2, that's a curveball, and waiting back on it, hitting it the opposite way, and that is a fair ball. No, a foul ball, excuse me. That was close. Again, I have just a little bit of an obstructed view here down the left field side, but so anyway, foul. So 1 ball and 2 strikes remains the count to Tate Bray. Tate Newharth patiently waiting on deck for Redfield. Bennett Hunt checks the runner over at first, and now calling timeout is Tate Bray, and home plate umpire Travis Lester granted him timeout. So back in the batter's box now with a 1-2 count is Bray. Here's the pitch. There's a pop-up on the infield. Who's got it? The Allen boys are talking about it. Brady from shortstop takes it. If you're not familiar with this post-9 Milbank team, your shortstop is Brady Allen, the younger brother of second baseman Mason Allen.
Number 15, Tate Newharth.
So if you say Allen is going to make the play, you're half right on the infield anyway, if you don't count the pitcher. So that'll bring up now Tate Newharth for post number 92. There's a fly ball into center field. Jackson Weesey looks like he's got a beat on it. And Jackson puts it away. So Redfield comes up empty, an inning and a half down here. City of Milbank Heritage Tournament. There is no score. Milbank will come to bat in the bottom of the second inning on the other side of this timeout.
By name. At Bean Pharmacy, your well-being is their priority. Stop in for fast, friendly service, convenient drive-through pickup, and a full line of durable medical equipment to keep you moving. Need a quick refill? Submit your prescription anytime online at beanpharmacy.com. Bean Pharmacy, where patients come first. Find them inside the Avera Medical Center in Milbank. Bean Pharmacy, your hometown pharmacy with a personal touch, because caring for you is what they do best.
Haslett Construction in Ortonville, Minnesota is known for their quality work. Additions to the Valley Queen Cheese Factory and First Bank and Trust, St. Lawrence School, Milbank Elementary, Ortonville Area Health Services, and the Big Stone County Highway Department Garage, and so many other projects over the years. They are known for their quality work and professionalism on the job. That's what makes Haslett Construction the contractor you want for your building projects. Go with the people you trust. Haslett Construction, Ortonville, Minnesota.
And welcome back into the birthplace of American Legion Baseball on a Father's Day Sunday morning. Good morning again, everybody. I'm Chad Knowles on the YouTube video and audio live stream only this morning. Glad to have everybody along. I know these video and audio broadcasts are becoming pretty popular, so we want to thank each and every one of you for tuning into our YouTube channel. Of course, the radio as well. We thank all those people, obviously, too. But now, Brady Allen will be in the batter's box. Brady last night reached on an error in 4 trips. So, Chase Odlin now deals to Brady Allen. That misses 1 ball and no strikes to number 3. Shortstop for Milbank is Brady Allen. And Odlin now with the pitch. Here's the 1-0. That's a strike at the knees in the fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike now to Brady Allen. Bennett Hunt waits on deck here for post 9. No score, bottom of the second. And that's into right field, and that is a foul ball. Of course, everybody from Milbank hollering, straighten that one out. That was close. Brady Allen goes the opposite way that time and tried to sneak it inside the right field foul line. Right fielder Tate Bray playing quite a ways into right center field. So Brady with the right idea that time. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Brady. He takes it. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the Milbank shortstop. Bottom of the second. No score. Milbank and Redfield. Again, Sisseton and Groton will come up after this one in the second place game. And the 2-2, here it is. That's on the ground. Shortstop has trouble picking it up. Brady Allen beats it out.
Brings up the pitcher, number 15, Bennett Hunt.
I think my unofficial scoring is going to give Brady a single on that one because I was kind of behind second base, actually. So Jet Kleinsasser had a little ways to travel for it, and then it kind of hit the heel of his glove, and Brady Allen was basically at first by that time anyway. So we'll give Brady the benefit of the doubt that time for sure. As Bennett Hunt now crawls into the batter's box, a fake throw over to first. Brady still dives back in, though, head first, safely, of course. So Bennett Hunt, what was his stat line last night? He had a couple of singles last night. Bennett takes a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Bennett, of course, Milbank starting pitcher here today. And a 1-0 count now to number 15, Bennett Hunt. And Odlin now, here's the pitch. That's a foul back to the netting off to the right of home plate. So 1 ball and 1 strike now to Bennett Hunt. Bennett looks down to his third base coach, Brady Femling. Has his sign now, the 1-1 pitch by Odlin, and here it is. Oh, Bennett Hunt wanted to reach and try to hit that one on the low outside corner and held back. 2 balls and 1 strike to Bennett. Brady Allen on first, nobody out. Bottom of the second, Milbank and Redfield are scoreless. First of 3 games here today. And here's the 2-1. There goes Brady Allen, and a defensive swing that time down the third baseline. Foul is by Bennett Hunt. So Brady Allen gets a little sprinting action in between first and second here on a Father's Day morning. Returns to the base at first on the foul ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Bennett Hunt. And Chase Odlin now on the mound, of course, for Redfield. He's going to come to his set. He's going to check the runner Allen over at first. And here's the 2-2. There goes Brady. Got a good jump. Gets away from the catcher out of his mitt. Brady Allen goes in standing up with a stolen base for post 9. So that's where Brady is now with nobody out here in the bottom of the second inning. So Bennett Hunt could help himself out here if he could drive Brady Allen in perhaps. Full count now to Bennett. And here is the payoff pitch now by Odland. That's going to be the opposite way into right field, but way foul. So Bennett Hunt, kind of like Brady Allen, trying to go the opposite way and tuck that one inside the right field line. But he either, just like Brady, didn't quite complete the job. It was a little bit further foul than that. But anyway, the count rides along full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch now from Odland. Here it is. Swing and a foul just to stay alive in the at-bat for Bennett Hunt. As Bennett took a mighty whack at that one and missed it. So full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Brady Allen on second. Nobody out for Milbank here in the bottom of the second inning. Again, City of Milbank Heritage Tournament here in the birthplace of American Legion Baseball, Milbank, South Dakota. And now again, the payoff pitch. Here it is to Hunt. High and in. A nice at-bat by Bennett that time. A patient at-bat. So Bennett Hunt gains first. Brady Allen goes to second. And now there's going to be a meeting at the mound. Coach Tommy Gregg is walking out of his first base dugout. And he's got some strategy to talk with the boys, obviously. In the meantime, let's do some paperwork here and thank our sponsors. Schmidt's Landing, ITC, Pro Image Partners, Lewis Family Drug, Chiropractic in Motion, Dakota Country Ag Service, Ortonville Area Health Services, Border Lake Insurance, Milbank Ford, Haslam Construction, Bean Pharmacy, 203 Realty, Milbank Tobacco Coalition, Avera Milbank Medical Center, Milbank Area Hospital Avera, and the Millstone Family Restaurant. And of course, we thank our video stream and audio stream sponsors as well. Again, the game after this will be Sisseton and Groton in the second place game, and then the championship game will be Parkston and Volga. The meeting at the mound is over with. Coach Gregg returns to his first base dugout now for post 92. And Karst is squaring to bunt. The first baseman is literally 5 feet away from him, and they're going to get it past the first baseman. Karst gets the job done. Sacrifice bunt by Derek Karst. Brady Allen takes third. Bennett Hunt takes second.
Got to play left fielder, number 26, Caleb Lindstrom.
That'll bring up Caleb Lindstrom. Now, last night, Caleb reached on an error in 3 trips to the plate. So Odlin now looking kind of toward the dugout there, I think, for just a little bit. So here's the pitch now to Lindstrom. That's a ball that's too far outside. 1 ball and no strikes to the 9th place hitter, Caleb Lindstrom here this afternoon. Runners on second and third, a 1-0 count now. And here comes the pitch to Lindstrom. That's a fastball that stays high that time. So 2 balls and no strikes to the Milbank left fielder, Caleb Lindstrom. And here comes the 2-0. That's a defensive swing. That's going to be kind of a tough play, though. First baseman fields it, goes over to the pitcher for the out. But coming in to score is Brady Allen. And taking third is Bennett Hunt. And Caleb Lindstrom, I guess a fielder's choice RBI that time is what we'll give him. So it is now 1-0 Milbank. Here in the bottom of the second inning, that turns the top of the lineup, and Jackson Weesey.
Top of the lineup, number 12, Jackson Weesey.
So here's the pitch to Weesey. He takes a strike. Jackson struck out, leading off the game last half inning. So Odland has him no balls and 1 strike now with Bennett Hunt at third. Milbank has scratched 1 across here in the bottom of the second inning to take a 1-0 lead. And here comes the Odland offering, and there's a pitch that goes out of play to the right. No balls and 2 strikes now, so Jackson in a 0-2 hole, and there's 2 outs. No balls and 2 strikes here to Jackson Weesey. Yeah, he swings and misses, so the half inning is over as Weesey strikes out. That is Odland's 3rd strikeout here this morning. And Milbank does manage to score 1 here in the bottom of the second. 2 complete. City of Milbank Heritage Legion Baseball Tournament from Milbank. We'll be back with more coming up right after this.
It's part of your journey. Whether you're cruising toward adventure or hauling hometown pride, they've got the ride to get you there. Stop in and explore their lineup of tough F-Series trucks, fuel-efficient SUVs, and family-ready crossovers, all backed by local service you can count on. The road starts in Milbank, but it could take you anywhere. Come and find your Ford today at Milbank Ford, where small-town trust meets big-time value.
Border Lake Insurance in Milbank and Ortonville is your locally owned independent insurance agency. As an independent insurance agency, Carrie Holquist and staff at Border Lake Insurance have access to multiple companies that offer home, farm, auto, commercial, life, and health products. Border Lake Insurance has 2 convenient locations. Stop by or call their Main Street office in Milbank at 605-432-5884. Or in Ortonville, call 320-839-6145. Located in Grand Marais State Bank, formerly the Sen Bank Building. Border Lake Insurance. Insurance agents you can count on.
And welcome back here to Milbank. Father's Day Sunday morning. Milbank did score 1 run in the bottom of the second inning to take a 1-0 lead here over Redfield.
Number 33, Logan Labrie.
And so Logan Labrie now leads off here for Redfield. Clay Kaiser post 92. In the top of the third inning, 1-0 Milbank, and there's Labrie squaring to bunt, and the pitch is on the other side of him, literally, from the left-handed batter's box. So 1 ball and no strikes to lead off the game. Labrie drew a walk. It was eventually stranded at third. And here's the 1-0. Now there's a curveball that just hangs outside. 2 balls and no strikes. So 2-0 now to Logan Labrie. Here's Hunt's pitch. That's high. So Bennett has yet to find the strike zone here in a small sample size in the top of the third. 3 pitches worth. The 3-0 offering now to Labrie. Here it is. There's the strike. Right at the knees. 3 balls and 1 strike. Milbank leads here 1-0. Top of the third. Here's the 3-1, and that's going to hang outside. Labrie draws his second walk of the game. And that'll bring up Noah Johnson now, who struck out back in the first. Now Coach Brady Femling is running out of the left or the third base dugout. He wants his infielders to come in as well. And are they going to change? I don't know if they're changing pitchers.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. Okay, you know what? We're going to take a break here, and we're going to catch up with the changes. So we'll be back with more right after this.
It's breakfast time at the Millstone Family Restaurant in Milbank. The Millstone loves breakfast as much as you do, but they've decided it's time to step up their breakfast game even more. Check out their new breakfast lineup, which includes blueberry French toast, the chicken and waffles breakfast sandwich, and their new lineup of eggs Benedict. It's all part of their new Shell Yeah breakfast menu at the Millstone Family Restaurant, East Highway 12 in Milbank.
We're passionate about getting yearly mammograms because 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer. You can get a yearly mammogram to detect it early. Would it help if I requested nicely? Please, could you be so kind as to get a mammo? We're singing it. Get your mammogram starting at 40, or with a British accent. Schedule your mammo with an Avera Breast Center at avera.org/breast or call 888-422-1410.
And welcome back into Milbank. Again, I'm Chad Knowles here on the video and audio live stream on our YouTube channel. And Aiden Kelly is now on the bump for Milbank. And I think it's a straight defensive switch. So Bennett Hunt goes to third. So going 2 innings this morning is Bennett Hunt. And let's see, he gives up no runs, no hits. And let's see, how many did Bennett walk? 1, 2, 3, 4 walks. And 2 strikeouts. So Aiden Kelly now in to pitch. There goes the runner to second. That's a good throw, and he's out. Oh, what a nice throw by Kargas. He had Labrie by about, probably 5-6 feet or so down there at second base. Showing off the gun that time is Zach Kargas, and boy, he fired a BB down to second base. So now bases are empty and 1 out. No balls and 1 strike. And there's the hit that goes right up the box into center field for a single for Noah Johnson. That'll bring up now Jet Kleinsasser. Jet back in the first inning, flew out to second base. Here's the pitch. That's a strike called. And it's a ball now, 1 ball and 1 strike. To Jet Kleinsasser here with 1 out in the top of the third inning. Milbank leads here 1-0. Here's the pitch. That's low and outside to Kleinsasser. Takes it. 2 balls and 1 strike now to the Redfield shortstop this morning. And the 2-1 count now, that's fisted the other way, out of play, foul to the right. Evens the count now to Kleinsasser, 2 balls and 2 strikes. So a 2-2 count now. Here it is. That's high, so it fills up the count now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Cool, fall-like Father's Day Sunday morning. We got some people in the bleachers here sitting with blankets and sweatshirts. There's a dribbler down the third base line, and that's foul. Just went foul on the third base line. Yeah, these past couple, 3 days, hey, you could have put a football on the tee and kicked it off. It's felt like fall. But are you going to hear any complaints from me? Not a single one. 3 balls and 2 strikes now. The payoff pitch, here it is. There's a fist foul down the first base line. Almost kind of like a pool cue shot that time for Kleinsasser, right down the first base line, foul. So we'll do the 3-2 all over again. The count is 3-2 to Jet Kleinsasser. Back at first now is Noah Johnson. Again, Aiden Kelly, if you're just tuning in, he took over in relief for Bennett Hunt earlier this half inning. And now Kelly must be taking a little bit too much time, so Jet Kleinsasser asks for timeout. And he's granted the timeout by home plate umpire Travis Lester. So the full count payoff pitch now is upcoming here. Here it is. That's a ball. So getting a walk is Jet Kleinsasser. And that'll push Johnson over to second.
Number 7, Micah Zastro.
So Redfield mounting a little bit of a threat here. First and second, 1 out. Milbank is up for now, 1-0 here in the top of the third inning. And there's the pitch, a little bit too far outside. 1 ball and no strikes to Micah Zastro. Micah walked back in the first inning. Of course, that was against starting pitcher Bennett Hunt. Here's the 1-0 now from Kelly. That's a fastball, but that misses low. So 2 balls and no strikes to Micah Zastro. The potential tying run standing out at second base for Redfield. There's the pitch that's too far inside. So Aiden Kelly now having a little bit of difficulty finding that thing we call home plate. Let's see if Aiden can find it here now again. Here's the 3-0, and that's low. So now the bases are loaded with walks. Actually, Noah Johnson got a single, but the last 2 guys have walked. So now Redfield has the bases loaded with still only 1 out. And that'll bring up Aiden Frankenstein, who popped out to first. So he's 0 for 1. But a golden opportunity here potentially for Aiden Frankenstein and Redfield. Clay Kaiser, post number 92.
Aiden Frankenstein.
So now the first and third baseman for Milbank are playing in on the infield grass. Second baseman and shortstop playing back at their normal positions as Aiden Kelly fires in a fastball strike. So no balls and 1 strike now, and here comes the pitch. That's a strike 2. So now Kelly has found home plate again. No balls and 2 strikes. Getting ahead quickly of Aiden Frankenstein. Again, the bases are loaded for post 92. And here's the 0-2 now from Kelly. That's a let up, kind of a curveball, and that just missed the inside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Frankenstein. Here's the 1-2. There's a bouncer down the third base line, but fielded in foul territory by Bennett Hunt. So all three runners return to their bases. Johnson to third, Kleinsasser to second, Zastro to first. And the count rides along. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Aiden Frankenstein. Here's the pitch. That's an excuse me hit off the bat knob that time. That same pitch sometimes hits the batter as well, but evidently it hit the bat first. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now here's the pitch. That's a jam shot down the third base line, way foul. That's in the parking lot, but no cars are that far away. So there's no windshield damage there. Here's the 1-2. That's a called third strike. And Aiden Kelly, I think, thought there were 2 outs, but now he's going to have to go back to the mound as he strikes out Frankenstein. That's his first strikeout. But what a big one for relief pitcher Aiden Kelly as he still leaves the bases loaded for now. But that'll bring up now Chase Odland, who could help his own cause here immensely. Here's the pitch. That's high and inside. That's going to get away from the catcher. There's going to be a play at the plate, and he's out. Oh, what a play by Zach Kargas to not only field the ball, but then get it to Aiden Kelly. Nice catch, Aiden. Nice tag, Aiden. Out at the plate is Noah Johnson. So, 2.5 complete. Redfield is still held scoreless, and it's 1-0. Milbank after 2.5 will be back with more Legion Baseball coming up right after this.
Annual wellness exam is one of the best ways to stay healthy. Wellness exams can help catch health conditions early, and these visits help your primary care provider deliver care based on your health history and goals. Most insurance plans cover annual wellness visits, but coverage varies, so check with your insurance provider. Take charge of your health and schedule your wellness exam with Ortonville Area Health Services. Call 320-839-6157 to schedule.
This year, Pioneer celebrates a century of innovation. From the first corn hybrid to the latest innovation like more seed and less corn, or Pioneer brand Z-Series soybeans. They're proud to be the one you count on when every bushel counts. The 100th season of Pioneer. Contact Paul or Riley at Dakota Country Egg Service in Milbank today at 605-467-0715 or 605-949-4170 to learn more.
And welcome back into Milbank. We're going into the bottom of the 3rd inning as Redfield did threaten to score, and they sent the guy home on the fielder's choice ball, but he was gunned out at home plate. So leading off for Milbank now in the bottom of the 3rd is Mason Allen. Mason in the first inning reached on an error and was stranded at second base. So Mason Allen now in the batter's box. Chase Odland on the mound for Redfield. And here comes the Odland pitch. There's a swing and a miss by Allen. No balls and 1 strike to number 7, the second baseman for Milbank, Mason Allen. And no balls and 1 strike to count now to Mason. Odland's pitch upcoming. Here it is. That's high and in to Mason. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Milbank leading here 1-0. Obviously runs very scarce so far at this point. And the 1-1, here it is. There's a swing and a miss by Mason. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And here's the pitch to Mason. There's a hit down to third base. Third baseman over to first. And they get the speedy Mason Allen. Keaton Johnson is going to bat now for Aiden Kelly.
At the plate now, number 1, Keaton Johnson.
So Keaton Johnson is going to bat now for Milbank. Bottom of the third, and that's going to be a hit by pitch. So Keaton Johnson goes down to first base. And that'll bring up now Mac Copeland. Mac walked back in the first.
Now batting number 11, Mac Copeland.
So Milbank has Keaton Johnson on first now with 1 out. And Mac Copeland in the box. Here's the pitch to Mac. That's going to be a tough play, but the shortstop is going to recover and touch second base to force out Keaton Johnson. So gaining first on the fielder's choice is Mac Copeland. And Zach Cargus now comes to the dish. Zach Cargus is 0 for 1, grounding out to second. So now becoming the runner at first is Mac Copeland, but now there's 2 outs. There's the pitch that's low and outside, gets away a little bit from the catcher, Tate Newharth, but not enough for Copeland to advance down to second. And the pitch now to Cargus, that's flowing out of play, foul. So evens the count now, 1 ball and 1 strike to Zach Cargus. Again, Mac Copeland standing over at first for Milbank. And here's the 1-1. That's a strike at the knees. Snap throw down to first, and they've got the runner, Mac Copeland, in the hot box. Mac going between first and second, and now he is... there's interference on Groden or something, so getting awarded second base is Mac Copeland. If there wouldn't have been that, Mac, quite honestly, was a dead duck in between first and second, but there was some interference call or something, so Mac does gain second base, and a 1-2 count to Zach Cargus. A cloudy, cool Father's Day afternoon here in Milbank. And you're in tune to, you're watching our video stream on YouTube, and welcome in. Here's the pitch. Cargus flies that one into right field, but way foul. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. The count remains to Zach Cargus. So going back to second is Mac Copeland. Milbank leads here 1-0 in the bottom of the third inning. And the 1-2 pitch now again upcoming to Zach Cargus. And here it is. Cargus reaches for that one. To second base, Rude over to first, and they get the runner Cargus at first. So Cargus goes out second to first, and that closes 3 innings here in Milbank. Milbank does not score anymore, so it's 1-0 Milbank. We'll be back with more baseball from the Heritage Tournament right after this.
Beautiful Big Stone Lake, whether you're casting for walleye, perch or bass, or just enjoying the stunning Mitchlandia has something for everyone. Relax in comfortable lakeside suites or set up your camper or tent for a long weekend. How about spending this summer at your seasonal RV spot? There are also boat and pontoon rentals, plus a fully stocked C-store with bait and licensing. Discover a family adventure or a peaceful retreat at Schmitzlandia. Visit schmitzlandia.com and like them on Facebook.
Milbank Ford isn't just a dealership. It's part of your journey. Whether you're cruising toward adventure or hauling hometown pride, they've got the ride to get you there. Stop in and explore their lineup of tough F-Series trucks, fuel-efficient SUVs, and family-ready crossovers, all backed by local service you can count on. The road starts in Milbank, but it could take you anywhere. Come and find your Ford today at Milbank Ford, where small-town trust meets big-time value.
It looks like Jackson Weesey is on the mound for post 9. So,
Number 12, Jackson Weesey.
don't know exactly who's in center field. We'll try to catch up with that one here, because that's where Jackson was. Derek Karst, it looks like he's still at first base. I think Bennett Hunt is still at third. Yes, he is. Kargas is behind the plate. It looks like the Allen boys are still at second and short. Nope, I'm wrong about that. Keaton Johnson, I think, is out at second now.
Leading up the top of the fourth, the Reds going to play Kaiser. Number 2, Chase Odland.
So I don't know if Mason Allen went someplace else. Then we'll have to wait and see, I guess. Okay, anyway, here's Redfield now in the top of the fourth inning, trailing 1-0, and Chase Odland, Jackson Rude. Chase Odland, I'm right in the first place. Here's Odland now in the batter's box. He was in the batter's box, I guess, that's right, when the runner was gunned out at home plate last half inning. So Odland now in the batter's box with a 2-0 count for Redfield. Here's the pitch from Weesey. That's a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. So Jackson Weesey, the third pitcher here for Milbank in this game. We're only in the top of the fourth inning. Here's the pitch. That is low, so 3 balls and 1 strike now to Chase Odland. Jackson Rude waits on deck here for post number 92. And the 3-1 pitch. There is a pop-up on the infield. Shortstop Brady Allen does not have to move literally to put that one away.
That brings up number 9, Jackson Rude.
So Jackson Rude now, the second baseman, will bat here for Redfield. Jackson Weesey's pitch. That's a fastball. It's a little bit high. The 1-0 pitch, that misses. 2 balls and no strikes. Mason Allen is in left field. Thank you, Mr. Weinberg. All right, so 3 balls and no strikes. Now the count goes to Jackson Rude. Again, we're in the top of the fourth, Milbank is leading here 1-0, and a 3-0 count now from Jackson Weesey. Here it is. That's going to miss. So Jackson Rude gains first base on the walk.
Now batting number 23, Tate Bray.
And that'll bring up now the right fielder, number 23, Tate Bray. Tate has popped out to short, so he's 0 for 1 here this afternoon. And here's the pitch from Weesey. That is a strike. Kargas wanted to do a snap throw down to first, but he held back instead. No balls and 1 strike. Now to Tate Bray. Tate Newharth waits on deck here for Redfield. Here's the 0-1. There's a jam shot into left center field, and that's going to be caught out there by Mason Allen going towards center field. Nice catch out there on defense by now the Milbank left fielder, Mason Allen. Mason used his speed that time and went into the gap into left center field and hauled that one in. So now there's 2 outs. And that'll bring up Tate Newharth now for Redfield. With Jackson Rude still in first, but now there's 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Milbank is leading 1-0. And here's the Weesey pitch. That's fouled back out of play. Into the parking lot. I didn't see if that was windshield territory or not, but not quite, I don't believe. It didn't reach quite that far out there. So no balls and 1 strike now. Here's the Weesey pitch. That's a strike at the knees on the fastball from Jackson Weesey to Tate Newharth. So no balls and 2 strikes now to number 15 for Redfield. 2 outs. Rude on first. Top of the 4th, here's the Weesey pitch. That is a little bit high. Boy, when that left Jackson's hand, I thought that was going to be way high, and boy, that just about dropped right into the strike zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes now from Weesey to Newharth. If Newharth reaches, we turn the top of the lineup with Logan Labrie. And Weesey comes to the set now. Here's the 1-2. That is right across the plate, but just a little bit low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Tate Newharth ready for the next pitch now, and Jackson Weesey is going to deliver. Here it is. That's hit into right field the opposite way, and that's going to not be caught by the right fielder. And that's going to be thrown back into the infield and just about thrown away. That's still a live ball, but anyway, Newharth dumps a single to right. And in the meantime, taking third is Jackson Rude. And then Newharth ends up at second. And there's going to be a pinch runner now for Redfield at second base. But now Redfield has the potential tying run at third, the potential go-ahead run at second, and Logan Labrie in the batter's box now. Logan today has walked twice. So no official stats yet for number 33 here this morning, which has now turned into Father's Day afternoon. Here's the pitch from Weesey. That's high. So 1 ball and no strikes. Post 92 with runners on second and third. There are 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Milbank clinging to a 1-0 lead. Here's the pitch from Weesey. That's right at the second baseman, Keaton Johnson on the line, and Keaton snags it. You could have hung clothes on that line, but Keaton snagged it. And so Redfield leaves runners at second and third. They come up with no runs on 1 hit and no errors. 3.5 complete here, the Heritage Baseball Tournament. Milbank 1, Redfield 0. We'll be back with more right after this.
A thing of the past, remaining only as a relic in a museum display case for tour guides to tell tales of. Where the life-threatening damage caused by tobacco is gone, extinct. Where the world has seen its last smoke put out. Smokes, vapes, and chew-tips belong in a museum of ancient history, not your mouth. Start your quit today. Find out more at thelastsmoke.org. Paid for by the South Dakota Department of Health
and the Milbank Tobacco Coalition.
At 203 Realty in Milbank, a huge part of their formula for success is their agent team. One of those agents is Brandon Perry. Brandon is a Wilmot native, Northern State grad, and has resided in Milbank for over 22 years. Brandon joined the real estate world after 25 years of service in the National Guard. Brandon's attention to detail, patience, commitment to his customers, and willingness to put in the extra hours is what sets him apart.
Hi, this is Brandon Perry with 203 Realty. Contact us today by visiting 203-realty.com. At 203 Realty, your address is more than just a number.
And welcome back into Milbank here on your Father's Day afternoon. As as Milbank is going to bring up Brady Allen, Bennett Hunt, and then Derek Karst to face Chase Odlin for Redfield.
Number 3, Brady Allen.
Again, Sisseton and Groton will play in the 3rd and 4th place game here to follow this. That'll be on our sister station, B103, and their YouTube page. Here's the pitch to Brady Allen inside, on the inside corner, I should say. No balls and 1 strike. So Brady Allen down now, no balls and 1 strike, and here's the Chase Odlin pitch. That's high and in to Brady. Brady has singled and has scored the only run of this game so far. One to nothing Milbank here in the bottom of the 4th. Game 1 of 3 here today. And the Odland 1-1. Here it is. Brady just about took a swing at it. They checked down to first base umpire, Ronnie Krause Jr. He says no, he did not offer at it. 2 balls and 1 strike. Now to number 3, Brady Allen. Bases are empty here. Nobody out in the top or bottom of the 4th inning. And the 2-1 now to Brady Allen. Here it is. That's inside. 3-1. Brady's going to try to work himself on here with a walk, if nothing else. And he's in the hitter's count right now of 3 balls and 1 strike. And here it is, the pitch. That's a strike at the knees. Brady takes it. 3 balls and 2 strikes now to fill up the count to the Milbank shortstop. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch upcoming here to Brady Allen. And Odland goes to the full wind, and that is low and outside. Brady, a very patient at bat. He takes a walk. That'll bring up now Bennett Hunt, who has walked.
Number 15, Bennett Hunt.
So Bennett with no official plate appearances here so far this afternoon. Brady Allen, a pretty good lead over there at first. We'll see if he's off with the pitch. Nope, and then Hunt tattoos that one into left field. That one's going to go over the left fielder's head. Brady Allen might be waved in. He's going to be waved around third. There's going to be a throw at the plate. Wow, that was a pretty good throw, but now Brady Allen is going to try to gain third. And Hunt is going to try to gain third, and he gets it. So Brady Allen comes in with Milbank's 2nd run. Just about getting out at the plate on a very strong throw from left fielder Logan Labrie. But Bennett Hunt gets an RBI triple for Milbank. And Karst is in the batter's box now. Derek Karst, sacrifice bunt back in the 2nd. So it's 2-0 Milbank, and that could be a big run in this game so far. The runs have been an absolute premium here this morning and afternoon. As again, Bennett Hunt is at third with his RBI triple. Here's the 0-1 to Karst. That's a swinging bunt fielded by the pitcher over to first. Karst is out. Staying at third is Bennett Hunt. So Derek Karst goes out, pitcher to first, as pitcher Chase Odland fielded his position very well that time. Checked Bennett Hunt back to third and threw to first for the out. And that'll bring up now Caleb Lindstrom for Milbank. And here's the pitch now. That is on the outside corner to Caleb Lindstrom. He takes it for a strike. balls and 1 strike to Caleb Lindstrom, 1 out. Bennett Hunt at third. Milbank up 2-0. Here's the pitch. That is on the ground to second on the drawn-in infield. Here comes the throw home. That's not going to be cleanly held by the catcher. Now they've got the runner in between first and second. Lindstrom is going to be tagged out between first and second. So he initially reached on the fielder's choice as they came home to try to get Bennett Hunt, but the ball was dropped by the catcher, so Bennett scores. So it's now 3-0 Milbank, and that'll turn the top of the order with Jackson Weesey. So it's 3-0 Milbank now, bases empty and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. And Jackson Weesey has struck out twice against Odland. So a 1-ball, no strike count now. Odland wanted a new ball, so they throw it back to Travis Lester. Of course, in the pros, they would have thrown that ball out so quickly you couldn't have set it fast enough. But not here at the Legion level, of course. And the 1-0 pitch now from Odland to Weesey, and there's a foul back to the netting. Evens the count now, 1 ball and 1 strike to Jackson Weesey. Milbank up here, 3-0, bottom of the 4th. And here's the pitch. That's on the ground into left field for a single. So Jackson Weesey, a seeing eye single that time, passed to the third baseman.
Coming to the plate, number 7, Mason Allen.
That'll bring up now Mason Allen into the batter's box. Mason now in left field defensively for Milbank. Mason offensively has reached on an error and grounded out to third here so far. Snap throw over to first. Weesey gets back. Ball gets away a little bit from Zastro, but not far enough for Jackson Weesey to scamper into second. So Jackson wisely holds his position there at first base. Mason Allen now with still waiting a pitch homer. There it is, a high heat that time from Odland. Swing and a miss by Allen. No balls and 1 strike. To number 7. And the 0-1, here it is. There's a swing and a miss. Weesey off with the pitch. The throw is there, but not held cleanly by the shortstop. So Jackson Weesey slides in safely into second base with a stolen base. That was kind of a bang-bang play that time, but Weesey slid in safely. That was a nice throw, by the way, by Tate Newharth from behind the dish. And here's the 0-2 now. There's a hit right to the third baseman on a line. Frankenstein nabs that one out of the air. Mason Allen lines out hard to third base. But Milbank does score 2 in the half inning to take a 3-0 lead, and we'll be back with more Legion baseball from Milbank coming up right after these.
Reasons why you can turn to us. We'll help you show your pride. You want the best for work or play. We're your one-stop image shop. We'll help you show your pride. ProImagePartners.com.
Ready for fiber-fast internet and friendly service? Experience unbeatable speed and local support with ITC, your community-connected cooperative. When you call ITC, you're talking to a real person, a neighbor, not a robot. We take pride in offering same-day or next-day support when you need it, and our support doesn't stop there. With investment initiatives like ITC Impact, we're giving back to the communities that make us great. Faster internet and friendlier service are in reach with ITC. Get started today.
welcome back to Milbank. Top of the 5th inning is where we are. And Redfield will come to bat here in the top of the 5th inning, trailing 3-0 to Milbank Post 9. As Milbank last half inning scored 2 runs on 2 hits and no errors. And that now will bring up for Redfield Noah Johnson, number 5. Noah this afternoon has struck out and he has singled. Here's the pitch from Weesey. That is low. 1 ball and no strikes. Again, Milbank up here 3-0 in the top of the 5th. This is for 5th place here in the Milbank Heritage Tournament. Weesey with a 1-0, and that sails high on the fastball that time. 1 ball and, or 2 balls and no strikes. There's the pitch. That is low. So Weesey falls behind now. 3 balls and no strikes to Noah Johnson. Jet Kleinsasser bats next for Redfield. Here's the pitch. That is a 4-pitch walk. And that now will bring up the shortstop, Jet Kleinsasser.
And to play number 3, Jet Kleinsasser.
Jet has walked, and he is flied out to second base. Here's the pitch. That's low and outside, so Jackson has missed now with 5 straight pitches. 1 ball and no strikes to Jet Kleinsasser. And here's the 1-0 now from Weesey. That's popped out of play to the right. Foul. Again, Sisseton and Groton will play next for 3rd and 4th in this tournament. So that'll be on our sister station up in Sisseton, B103. And the YouTube page, of course. Strike at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Kleinsasser. And here's the pitch from Weesey. That is going to hit Kleinsasser. So Johnson gets pushed over to second. Kleinsasser becomes the runner at first. And that will bring up Micah Zastro.
Micah Zastro.
So Micah Zastro so far today has walked twice. So no official at-bats for number 7 here so far in this game, but he's been on twice. Here's the pitch from Weesey. There's a swing and a miss. Nice pitch by Jackson that time. And there is a pitch that misses. 1 ball and 1 strike to Zastro. Zastro checks down to Coach Tommy Gregg at third base for the sign. Runners on first and second for Redfield with nobody out here in the top of the 5th. Milbank is leading 3-0, but Redfield threatening to mount a rally here as it's 2-1 now to Zastro. Johnson on second, Kleinsasser on first. A 2-1 count to Micah Zastro. And the Jackson Weesey offering, here it is. That's inside, so it's 3-1. So the half inning getting just a little bit interesting here for both squads. Redfield with runners on first and second, a 3-1 count now to Zastro, and here comes the pitch. That's a swing and a miss. That probably would have been called a strike anyway, but anyway, nice pitch that time by Weesey to fill up the count now. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Micah Zastro. And the payoff pitch now, here it is. That's going to be fouled out of play to stay alive in the at-bat by Micah. Again, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out yet here in the top of the 5th inning. Redfield batting and trailing Milbank here in this game, 3-0. And here's the Weesey pitch. There's a pop-up. Cargus comes back to give it a look and runs out of room as that one goes into foul territory. So the count rides along, 3 balls and 2 strikes. A nice long at-bat here for Micah Zastro, making Weesey work. Again, the payoff at 3-2. That's low and outside, so the bases are loaded now for Redfield. Johnson to third, Kleinsasser to second, and Brady Femling comes out of the third base dugout for Milbank. And Aiden Frankenstein comes to the plate with the bases loaded and nobody out. So we'll see if Jackson stays in there. Brady's going to talk to his pitcher and infielders. Again, we want to thank our sponsors, Schmidt's Landing, ITC, Pro Image Partners, Lewis Family Drug, Chiropractic in Motion, Dakota Country Ag Service, Ortonville Area Health Services, Border Lake Insurance, Milbank Ford, Haslund Construction, Bean Pharmacy, 203 Realty, Milbank Tobacco Coalition, Avera Milbank Medical Center, Milbank Area Hospital Avera, and the Millstone Family Restaurant. Those are our audio side sponsors. And we see now to Frankenstein. Here it is. That's high. 1 ball and no strikes. So now the infielders, the first and third baseman, are playing in on the infield grass. Shortstop, second baseman, back at their normal positions. Here's the 1-0. That's high. So it's 2-0 now. Well, this is really getting to be a potentially sticky situation here for Milbank. Bases are loaded, 2 balls and no strikes. To the batter, Aiden Frankenstein. Milbank is leading for now, 3-0. A swing and a miss by Aiden that time, making it 2 balls and 1 strike. So the count, 2 balls and 1 strike now to the third baseman, Aiden Frankenstein. Here it is. That's outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. No place to put the Redfield third baseman. So the count is 3-1 now. Here comes the 3-1, and there's a swing and a foul back to the netting to fill up the count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Bases full of Clay Kaiser post 92 runners. A full count to Aiden Frankenstein, and the bases are loaded with nobody out. Here's the payoff pitch, and that's a called third strike. Oh, what a huge, huge strikeout for the moment for Jackson Weesey in Milbank post 9. And that'll bring up now Chase Odland, who could help his cause here just a little bit if he would get into one for Redfield. Here's the Weesey pitch. That's high and inside, so the bases are still loaded, but now there's 1 out. And Chase Odland at the dish. He has struck out and popped out to short. So the 1-0 pitch now to Odland. Here it is. That's high. So Jackson Weesey falls behind now. 2 balls and no strikes. Milbank is clinging to that 3-run lead, 3-0. But it's tenuous at the moment. Here's the 2-0. That's going to be laced into left field for a single. 1 run is going to score. The second run is going to be held up at third base. RBI single for Chase Odland. Noah Johnson comes in to score. Kleinsasser held at third. Zastro in at second. It is now 3-1 Milbank. And now there's going to be a pitching change, and so we're going to catch up with it, and we're going to be back with more baseball and the pitching change coming up right after this.
Services remind you an annual wellness exam is one of the best ways to stay healthy. Wellness exams can help catch health conditions early, and these visits help your primary care provider deliver care based on your health history and goals. Most insurance plans cover annual wellness visits. but coverage varies, so check with your insurance provider. Take charge of your health and schedule your wellness exam with Ortonville Area Health Services. Call 320-839-6157 to schedule.
This year, Pioneer celebrates a century of innovation. From the first corn hybrid to the latest innovation like more seed and less corn, or Pioneer brand Z-Series soybeans. They're proud to be the one you count on when every bushel counts. The 100th season of Pioneer. Contact Paul or Riley at Dakota Country Egg Service in Milbank today at 605-467-0715 or 605-949-4170 to learn more.
And welcome back into the birthplace of American Legion Baseball here on our YouTube stream. Keaton Johnson is the new pitcher for Milbank. Mason Allen goes back to second base. Jackson Weesey goes back to center field. And we'll try to figure out who's in left field for Milbank anyway. Keaton Johnson is your new pitcher here now for post 9. Milbank's fourth pitcher here this afternoon. And so Redfield now still has the bases loaded. Jackson Rude in the batter's box.
Number 9, Jackson Rude.
Milbank is still up by 2 here, 3-1, but the bases are loaded and 1 out, so we'll see what Keaton Johnson can do here in relief. Here's the right-hander's pitch. That's high. So 1 ball and no strikes now to Jackson Rude. He's walked twice. Here's the Johnson pitch. That is outside. Just outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Bases still full of Redfield runners. They've pushed 1 across here so far. And it's a 2-0 count with the bases loaded. Here's the pitch. That's a beautiful pitch by Keaton that time. Kind of curved across the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike. So the bases are full with 1 out. Here's the 2-1. That's that same pitch. Right across Broadway to even the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kleinsasser at third, Zastro second, Chase Odland at first. Here's the 2-2. That's a hit down into left field for a single. 1 run is going to score. 2 runs are going to score. And the throw to third is not in time. So Redfield has tied matters here on a 2 RBI single by Jackson Rude. Odland slides into third. Rude, in the meantime, goes into second.
That brings up number 23, Tate Bray.
And we have a brand new ball game, ladies and gentlemen. It is 3 apiece. And that will bring up Tate Bray now, who is 0 for 2 here this afternoon. He's still got runners on second and third for Redfield. Here's the pitch. That's a pitch that's outside. 1 ball and no strikes. So brand new ball game. Redfield has plated 3 here so far in the top of the 5th. Milbank's on their 4th pitcher here this afternoon. Here's the 1-0. That's an excuse me swing. Hit down the left field line foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. And here's the 1-1 from Johnson. That hangs way outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Runners on second and third for Redfield. Still only 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Redfield has scored 3 so far in this half inning. Here's the 2-1. That's on a line. Nice play out there by Mason Allen at second base. Oh, my heavens. He snagged that one right off his shoe tops and not only got Bray at first, but kept the runner at third.
Now batting number 15, Tate
So a beautiful play that time. That was a hot shot, too, by the way, by Bray. Just fielded on one hop, literally off his shoe tops that time, like we said, by Mason Allen, and he completed the out at first. So runners now still at second and third, but now there's two out, and Tate Newharth in the batter's box. He's singled in a couple of trips this afternoon. Johnson's pitch is fouled back to the retaining wall behind home plate. No balls and one strike. To Tate Newharth. And here's the 0-1. That's high from Johnson. 1 ball and 1 strike. So we'll see if Keaton can put out the fire right here. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here comes the pitch. That's a little bit outside and low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Redfield has come back to tie matters here in the top of the 5th inning here in this 5th place game of the Heritage Tournament. Here's the 2-1. That's fouled off to the right. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2 men on for Redfield, and the 2-2 now from Keaton Johnson. Here it is. That's high. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So a full count now to Tate Newharth. And here comes the Johnson offering, and that's going to be high. So Newharth walks to reload the bases. And that'll bring up the 9th man this inning to bat. Redfield has batted around now, Logan Labrie. So we'll see what Keaton Johnson can do here with the bases loaded. Bases loaded, 2 outs. And Logan Labrie in the batter's box now. And here's the pitch from Johnson. That hangs outside. 1 ball and no strikes now the count to Logan Labrie. Bases full of post-92 runners. Here's the 1-0. That's going to be outside. 2 balls and no strikes. So no place to put Labrie here with the bases loaded and the go-ahead run for Redfield at third. And here's the 2-0. That's going to be a strike. So I believe it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Yes, it is. To Logan Labrie. And here's the Johnson pitch. That's going to be outside and low. 3 balls and a strike. So again, no place to put Logan Labrie. As Redfield has a 3-1 count here. Here comes the pitch. And that's going to be down to third base. Fielded by the third baseman. Steps on third. And Bennett Hunt forces out Jackson Root at third base. But Redfield does tie matters here as they score 3. And so it's 3-3 going into the bottom of the 5th. We'll be back with more baseball from Milbank right after this.
Milbank Ford isn't just a dealership. It's part of your journey. Whether you're cruising toward adventure or hauling hometown pride, they've got the ride to get you there. Stop in and explore their lineup of tough F-Series trucks, fuel-efficient SUVs, and family-ready crossovers, all backed by local service you can count on. The road starts in Milbank, but it could take you anywhere. Come and find your Ford today at Milbank Ford, where small-town trust meets big-time value.
Border Lake Insurance in Milbank and Ortonville is your locally owned independent insurance agency. As an independent insurance agency, Carrie Holquist and staff at Border Lake Insurance have access to multiple companies that offer home, farm, auto, commercial, life, and health products. Border Lake Insurance has 2 convenient locations. Stop by or call their Main Street office in Milbank at 605-432-5884. Or in Ortonville, call 320-839-6145. Located in Grand Marais State Bank, formerly the Sen Bank Building. Border Lake Insurance. Insurance agents you can count on.
And welcome back here to Milbank on our YouTube page, video audio stream. And Milbank will come up here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Leading up for Milbank in the bottom of the 5th, number 1, Keaton Johnson.
Keaton Johnson steps into the batter's box now for Milbank here in the bottom of the 5th. Here's the Chase Odlin pitch. That's high. 1 ball and no strikes to Keaton Johnson. Keaton was hit by a pitch. There's a fastball strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to Keaton. And here comes the 1-1 now. There's a swing and a miss. Keaton took a pretty good hack at that one and missed it. So we're tied at 3 here in the bottom of the 5th. Redfield tied matters in the top of this half inning. Here's the pitch. There's a swing and a miss by Johnson. He's down on strikes. And that would be Odlin's, let's see here, 4th strikeout by my count. And that'll bring up now Mac Copeland for Milbank.
And number 11, Mac Copeland.
Mac has reached on a fielder's choice and walked. Here's the Odlin pitch, fastball that's outside. So 1 ball and no strikes now to Mac Copeland. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. And here's the 1-0 pitch. Copeland serves that one into pretty deep center field. And that one is going to be caught out there by center fielder for Redfield. I believe that's Noah Johnson still out there for Redfield in center field. It was a beautiful catch as he was going with his, that was over his head quite a ways, but a nice recovery that time by the center fielder for Redfield, and that'll now bring up Zach Cargus, who has grounded out to second twice this afternoon. And Zach is going to get hit by that pitch. So he jogs down to first base. That'll bring up Brady Allen, who has singled and walked and scored a couple runs.
Brady Allen.
Again, Milbank and Redfield are knotted here at 3 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Game 1 of 3 here today, the final day of the Milbank Heritage Baseball Tournament. This game is for 5th place in the tournament here today. And the Brady Allen at-bat, and there goes the runner Cargus to second. A good jump, and they're not going to get him. Zach Cargus slides into second base safely. So the potential go-ahead run now is at second base, and Zach Cargus. And a 1-0 count to Brady Allen. And here's the pitch. That's low and outside. That gets away from the catcher, and going into third is Zach Cargus. So now if Brady Allen can get a hit, Milbank would go back ahead. There are 2 outs, so you can't just get a sacrifice fly. And now Coach Tommy Gregg is coming out of the first base dugout for Redfield. I don't know if he's got the hook along with him or not. We'll just wait and see here. Maybe it's just a meeting of minds at the mound. And I don't think he's taking the ball, so I think that's probably just what it is. He's going to discuss a little strategy here with his players. Again, we want to thank all of our sponsors for bringing you Legion Baseball here all season long so far. Our video and audio sponsors, of course, as well. Meeting at the mound is over. So Brady Allen now with a 2-0 count. The potential go-ahead run for Milbank standing 90 feet away at third base in Zach Cargus. So we'll see if Brady Allen can get his second hit here on the afternoon. And there's the pitch to Brady. He takes it inside, so he's way ahead now. 3 balls and no strikes. 3-0 to Brady Allen. And here comes the Odland pitch. That's high, so Brady takes a walk. Cargus still at third, and that'll bring up Bennett Hunt, who has an RBI triple. He's scored a run, and he has walked. So an ideal opportunity here for Bennett to put his team back ahead. We're tied at 3. 2 outs, runners at the corners for Milbank. Here's the pitch. Bennett reaches for that one, grounds on the ground to the pitcher. Odland over to first. And Bennett Hunt is out. So Milbank leaves runners at first and third, cannot score. So after 5 complete, Redfield 3, Milbank 3. We'll be back with more Legion Baseball right after this.
At Chiropractic in Motion, with a minor adjustment, headaches, numbness, and pain can be relieved. Dr. Matt is the type of chiropractor that helps his patients by correcting the problem with as few visits as possible. Chiropractic in Motion looks forward to seeing their customers outside of the office, enjoying their lifestyle with a smile. The next time you have aches and pains, count on the helping hands of Dr. Matt. He's there when you need him. Chiropractic in Motion Sports Injury and Family Wellness Center, Highway 12, Milbank.
Lewis Family Drug is your one-stop location. In addition to quality prescription and non-prescription drugs with free delivery, Lewis has a huge selection of everyday basics and name brands and specialty items, always at affordable prices. They carry seasonal items, fabrics, crafts, and groceries. Shopping at your local Lewis Drug is more simple and more rewarding than ever. Download the Lewis mobile app to add on-the-go convenience to your errands. Lewis Family Drug. Everyday savings close to home.
And welcome back into Milbank here on your Father's Day Sunday afternoon.
So time limit has been reached. So we'll start with the guy second base.
As okay, we're just getting some updates here. It looks like okay. So the time limit for the game has been reached, but the tie has to be broken. So I guess they're going to do a little bit like the pros do. They're going to send a runner out to second base to start the inning for Redfield. And Noah Johnson will come to the batter's box.
Number 5, Noah Johnson.
So we believe that Milbank will get the same opportunity here in the bottom of the inning. But we're in the top of the 6th. And there's a pitch low and inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Now to Noah Johnson, who has singled, walked, struck out, and scored a run. 1-0 is the count. A runner at second for Redfield. Here's the pitch from Johnson. That's going to be hit into the air in short right field. Coming in and making the catch is Mac Copeland. So Mac on the charge toward the infield, and he snags that one. And that will bring up now Jet Kleinsasser for Redfield. He has walked, been hit by a pitch, and flied out to second base. So Redfield with a runner at second, and now one out. And the Keaton Johnson pitch. They're going to throw back to second, and getting back in, standing up, is the runner out there at second. And here's the pitch. That misses. 2 balls and no strikes. And the Johnson pitch now is upcoming. Checks the runner at second, and that's going to be a curveball that time that stays inside. So it's I think it's 2 balls. Yep, 2 balls and no strikes. Here's the pitch. That is outside, so now it is 3 balls and no strikes. Again, runner on second here for Groton. We have reached the time limit of the game, but I honestly have not seen this in Legion baseball yet. So anyway, the runner at second, kind of like they do in the pros in the overtime, basically. And there's going to be a strike. So 3 balls and 1 strike. We're tied at 3 here in the top of the 6th. And it's a 3-1 count now, and there's a pitch that's low and outside, and Jet Kleinsasser will occupy first base now. And that will bring up Micah Zastro.
Number 7, Micah Zastro.
Micah Zastro has a hat trick of walks this afternoon in the first, in the third, and in the 5th. So Micah, no official at-bats this afternoon, but he's been on base 3 times with walks. So the first baseman is playing in for Milbank on the grass. Keaton Johnson fires in a strike in the meantime. No balls and 1 strike. Again, Sisseton and Groton will play next, about, I suppose, 15-20 minutes after this one. And the 0-1, here it is. That is low and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Redfield scored 3 in the 5th. Milbank scored 1 in the 2nd and 1 in the 4th. And here's the Johnson pitch. That's high. So a 2-1 count now to Micah Zastro. Here's the pitch. That is high and inside, so it's 3-1 now. So 3-1 the count now to Zastro. Here's the pitch from Johnson. That's a nice pitch. Gets right over the plate. 3 balls and 2 strikes now to fill up the count to Micah Zastro. Runners on first and second for Redfield. 1 out. And the payoff pitch now to Zastro. Here it is. There's a swing and a miss. What a pretty pitch by Keaton Johnson that time. Had a little curveball action on that one. And that is Keaton Johnson's 2nd strikeout. And here's the pitch now to Aiden Frankenstein. That misses. He's struck out twice so far today and popped out to first. So now runners are on first and second with 2 outs. And a 1-0 count now to Aiden Frankenstein. And Keaton Johnson, long look on the mound. Here comes the pitch. That's a strike. That's a nice pitch by Keaton that time. 1 ball and 1 strike. So the pitch upcoming here by Keaton now, the 1-1 pitch. Here it is. That's outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Redfield runners on first and second. We've reached the time limit of the game, but Redfield started the inning with a runner on second, and we can assume Milbank will do the same in the bottom of the 6th. Here's the Johnson pitch. That's outside. So 3-1 now. Johnson wants a new baseball and gets one from home plate umpire Travis Lester. Cloudy, cool, Father's Day Sunday afternoon here in Milbank. Game time temperature was 65 degrees. We probably have not moved a lot from there, unless we've moved down a little bit perhaps. I don't know. 3-1. Here's the pitch. That is going to be a little bit too low, so now the bases are full as Frankenstein goes to first.
That brings up number 2, Chase Conlon.
Klein Saucer to second. And the runner that started the inning at second base is now at third. And that'll bring up Chase Odlin now. Here's the pitch from Johnson. That's low and outside. Oh, nice block behind the dish that time by Kargas. Oh my, that's something that's not necessarily going to show up in the headlines, but that saved a run right there by Zach Kargas. Good job behind the dish. 1 ball and no strikes to Odland. Here's the Johnson pitch. That's low and outside. 2 balls and no strikes. So Keaton Johnson now has his sign with a 2-ball, no strike count. Here comes the right-hander's pitch. That's going to be high and inside. 3 balls and no strikes. No place to put Chase Odland here in the top of the 6th inning. We're tied at 3. And the 3-0 count now from Keaton Johnson. Here comes the righty's pitch. That's right down the center of the plate for a strike. So 3 balls and 1 strike now as the game is getting a little bit interesting here. Bases loaded, 3-1 now. Here comes the 3-1. And that's going to miss inside, so Redfield scores a run on a bases-loaded walk. So now we change the scoreboard, 4-3 Redfield. And Klein Saucer to third, Aiden Frankenstein to second. Chase Odlin becomes the base runner. And now Derek Karst, it looks like, is going to pitch for Milbank. We'll try to catch up with the particulars on the other side of this timeout. It's 4-3 Redfield, top of the 6th. Back with more coming up.
It's breakfast time at the Millstone Family Restaurant in Milbank. The Millstone loves breakfast as much as you do, but they've decided it's time to step up their breakfast game even more. Check out their new breakfast lineup, which includes blueberry French toast, the chicken and waffles breakfast sandwich, and their new lineup of eggs Benedict. It's all part of their new Shell Yeah breakfast menu at the Millstone Family Restaurant, East Highway 12 in Milbank.
We're passionate about getting yearly mammograms because 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer. You can get a yearly mammogram to detect it early. Would it help if I requested nicely? Please, could you be so kind as to get a mammo? We're singing it. Get your mammogram starting at 40, or with a British accent. Schedule your mammo with an Avera Breast Center at avera.org/breast or call 888-422-1410.
And welcome back here to Milbank on a Father's Day Sunday afternoon. We've got kind of a marathon going here, ladies and gentlemen. We are up to time, technically, with the game, but Redfield has just scored the tie-breaking run here in the top of the 6th inning, and now Milbank has changed pitchers for the 5th time here this afternoon. Derek Karst is going to take a crack at the mound now as Redfield has runners at every base yet, and there's 2 outs. And Derek Karst is on the mound now for Milbank.
Pretty sure Mason's at right now.
Okay, Mason Allen, we believe, has gone to right field now. And I think Matt Copeland would be at first base. That looks like the way it's going to be, yep. And Keaton Johnson is back at second base, yep. Brady is still at third. Brady Allen and short, excuse me. Bennett Hunt, I believe, is still at third. And that'll bring up Jackson Rude now for Redfield. There's a strike at the knees from Derek Karst. As Jackson Rude has a 2 RBI single and a couple of walks here today. No balls and 1 strike. And here comes the pitch. That is low. It gets away from the catcher. Coming in with another run is Redfield as Jet Kleinsasser comes in to touch home plate. And Aiden Frankenstein to third, Chase Odland to second, and it is now 5-3 Redfield. So now Redfield has runners on second and third. 2 runs across here in the top of the 6th inning. And here's the 1-1. That's a strike at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the 1 ball, 2 strike Karst pitch. Here it is. That's high and in. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the 2-2 Karst pitch. Here it is. That is low and inside. So full count now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Welcome to our YouTube page here at KMSD Radio. Here's the payoff pitch. There's a swing and a foul. Catching a piece back to the screen is Jackson Rude. So Redfield has scratched across 2 here in the top of the 6th to take a 5-3 lead here in this game for 5th place in the Milbank Heritage Tournament. And here's the 3-2 pitch. That's low, so another walk is issued to a Redfield batter. And that fills up the bases now for Tate Bray. Again, if you're just tuning in, first of all, welcome aboard. Second of all, Milbank is utilizing their 5th pitcher here this afternoon. And that'll bring up Tate Bray now, popped out to short, flied out to left, and grounded out second to first. On at that time, a very nice play by second baseman Mason Allen. 1-0 is the count. Here's the pitch. There's a swing and a miss by Bray. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bray, a left-handed batter. Karst, right-handed pitcher. So Derek back on the bump now, getting set to deliver. 1-1. Here's the pitch. There's a swing and a foul back to the screen. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Tate Bray. And here's the pitch. That's high on the fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Derek Karst searching for that elusive 3rd strike here. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Tate Bray. And here comes the Karst offering. That's going to be a hit into center field. 1 run is going to score. 2 runs are going to score. And that's a 2-run single by Tate Bray. As Aiden Frankenstein scores, Chase Odland is right behind him, gaining second. Let's see, it is now 7-3. Redfield is leading. And Jackson Rude at second, now Tate Bray at first, and in the batter's box, Tate Newharth. So Redfield has really come alive here, obviously, in the last 2 innings, plating 3 last half inning, 4 so far this half inning. Milbank was up at one point here, 3-0. And Redfield has done some late game rallying here to take a 7-3 lead. In this game that has reached the time limit probably 15 minutes or so ago. So the 2-1 count now is to Tate Newharth. And here comes the 2-1. That is low and inside, so it's 3-1. And the Karst 3-1. Here it is. There's the ball. So Tate Newharth takes a walk. And so now the bases are loaded again for Redfield.
That takes us to the top of the order, number 33, Logan Labrie.
And Redfield has batted around, so Logan Labrie up for the second time. Or no, I'm sorry. That's Logan Labrie in the batter's box now. I can't read my own writing here in the scorebook. Sorry about that. Here's the Karst pitch. That's on the outside corner for a strike. Here's the pitch from Karst. That is low, 1 ball and 1 strike. And the 1-1, that's fouled back to the screen, or to the netting. 1 ball and 2 strikes. To Logan Labrie. Here's the Karst pitch. That's fouled. Back again behind home plate count. I guess I don't exactly know what the count is right now. 1-1, I think. So now it's probably 2-1. Oh, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Okay. All right, the 2-2 pitch now from Karst. Here it is. There's a swing and a foul. So the count rides along. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Redfield has scored 4 here in the top of the 6th to take a 7-3 lead. Here's the pitch from Karst. Fouled back once again. Staying alive. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, Sisseton and Groton will play in the 3rd and 4th place game after this one. And then there's the championship yet after that. Parkston and Volga. And the 2-2 pitch now. Here it is. That's a swing and a miss. So Logan Labrie strikes out, but Redfield more than damage done. They scored 4 runs to take a 7-3 lead. We're coming back with the bottom of the 6th coming up, and we're going to take a timeout for our video sponsors here.
It's the difference fiber-fast internet can make in your home or business. ITC pairs unbeatable speed with local support to provide an exceptional customer experience. Get started today with ITC, your community-connected cooperative.
Smoke breaks take time. Time away from defining moments in life. His moment of glory was your moment. Wasted. Fewer moments wasted. More good years.
Image partners, so many reasons why you can turn to us. We'll help you show your pride. ProImagePartners.com.
Ortonville Area Health Services. Our mission at Ortonville Area Health Services, we provide personalized, high quality, and compassionate care through caring professionals in a healing environment. Your healthcare home, Ortonville Area Health Services.
And welcome back to Milbank. Milbank will get a runner at second base to start the half inning as well. Derek Karst is in the batter's box. So Redfield has gone ahead here 7-3. Bottom of the sixth here. Last chance time for Milbank. Bennett Hunt is going to be the runner at second base for Milbank. So bottom of the sixth. Here is Chase Odland is still on the mound for Redfield. He's gone the whole way here so far this afternoon. Derek Karst in the batter's box. He's grounded out to pitcher twice. Here's the pitch to Karst, high and away on the fastball. One ball and no strikes now to the Milbank left-handed batting now pitcher, Derek Karst. Here's the pitch. That is low and outside. 2 balls and no strikes. So basically, to kind of catch you up a little bit, what happened was the game was tied after 5 innings, and that was the time limit originally of the game, but they have to settle the tie. So in a game like this, for sure, this cannot end in a tie. So that's why we're extra time and, well, technically not extra innings yet, but extra time here for sure. So anybody waiting for Siston and Groton, they are coming up here after this game yet. And then the championship game, Parkston and Volga, that'll start, well, who knows when that one will start. It was scheduled to start at 3 o'clock. Anyway, a 3-1 count now to Karst. Here it is. Swing and a miss. Fills up the count now to Derek. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Redfield leads here 7-3. Here's the pitch. That is inside. And Karst takes a walk. So pinch runner Bennett Hunt, he started, not a pinch runner, he started at second base here in this half inning. He's still at second. Now they'll bring up Caleb Lindstrom. Here's a pop fly to first base, and that is going to be a double play. As the first baseman catches it, Derek Karst gets doubled off of first. Caleb Lindstrom pops out to first, and then Karst is doubled off of first. So now all of a sudden Milbank down to their last out here as Jackson Weesey comes to the dish. He has singled and struck out twice here this afternoon. Here's the Odland pitch. Weesey swings and fouls that one off to the right of the plate. So no balls and 1 strike. Now the count to Jackson Weesey. As there's a little meeting at the mound now between catcher and pitcher. Okay, now the meeting is over on the mound. So, no balls and 1 strike. Now the count to Jackson Weesey with Hunt on second. Here's the pitch. Weesey fouls that one as well. And that one caught home plate umpire Travis Lester. Looks like somewhere on the shoulder. Hopefully Travis is going to be okay. They're going to look at him, and he's kind of doubled over there behind home plate, but hopefully Travis will be okay. That did catch him. And like we said, I think it looked like the left shoulder. So we wish nothing but the best for Travis Lester here. Hopefully he's going to be okay. And again, we get a time here, a little break, and we want to just thank the whole city of Milbank and all the volunteers and everybody for putting on a tournament like this. Obviously, this doesn't just happen by itself. There's a lot of work that goes on in front of the scenes, of course, and well behind the scenes as well. So great shout out, great kudos to the city of Milbank for putting on this heritage tournament here this weekend and welcoming, of course, a lot of visitors here to Milbank. And it's just a good thing all around. So a good job, the city of Milbank. No balls and 2 strikes now to Jackson Weesey. Here's the pitch. That's high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Redfield leads here 7-3. And it's a 2-1 count. Here's the pitch. We see golfs that one into left field for a single. Bennett Hunt will be held at third. So Milbank is still alive here in this game. Jackson Weesey hits one into left field for a single, and that will bring up now Mason Allen. Mason Allen today has reached on an error, grounded out to third, and lined out to third. So here's the pitch now to Mason. He swings and fouls that one back. No balls and 1 strike. Hunt on third. Weesey on first. Milbank has 4 runs to make up, though, here as they're trailing 7-3. And it's an 0-1 count now to Mason Allen. Here comes the pitch. That's into center field for a single. Bennett Hunt will score. So an RBI single belongs to Mason Allen. Stopping at second is Jackson Weesey. Bennett Hunt scores. And it is now 7-4, Redfield. That'll bring up Keaton Johnson now for Milbank. And there's a pitch that's low and outside. 1 ball and no strikes now to Keaton Johnson. Runners on first and second. 7-4. Redfield is leading here in, well, a game that should have been over like 25 minutes or so ago with the time limit. There's Keaton Johnson on a line to the second baseman, and Keaton is out on a pretty hard hit, but a line out to second base. And that is your game. Redfield comes up with 5th place here. They beat Milbank 7-4.
Congratulations, Redfield. Kaiser, and your win.
And that is going to do it here for the game. And again, we want to thank our sponsors, the Millstone Family Restaurant, Avera Milbank Medical Center, Milbank Area Hospital Avera, Milbank Tobacco Coalition, 203 Realty, Bean Pharmacy, Haslam Construction, Milbank Ford, Border Lake Insurance, Ortonville Area Health Services, Dakota Country Ag Service, Chiropractic in Motion, Lewis Family Drug.
Winner in this championship. Heritage Classic here on Championship Sunday. Happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there.
And Pro Image Partners, ITC and Schmitz Landing. We're going to take one final break for our video sponsors here, and we'll wrap this thing up.
Ford, Darren and his crew offer the best mechanic service, along with a full lineup of Ford vehicles. They pride themselves on the honest and friendly way of doing business. Check out millbankford.com to see what they have to offer, or stop by Milbank Ford, West Highway 12, Milbank.
Whimsy on Main makes it easy to find unique gifts for all occasions. Whimsy specializes in packages specific to your gift-giving needs. Shop in store for books, home toys, games, and more Monday through Saturday or online at whimsyonmain.com. Let Whimsy on Main be your one-stop gift shop on Main Street, Milbank.
This broadcast brought to you locally by Dennis Mears, financial advisor with Legacy Financial Partners, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC. Your future is counting on the right financial advice.
And welcome back. That's your game. Milbank loses to Redfield 7-4 for a YouTube channel here at KMSD. Good afternoon, everybody. Have a great rest of your weekend.